Now you wore a lot of hats on this production. Um,
Yes, most web series creators do, I think. But yes,
was
it's
that
important when you're
challenging?
doing everything on your own money, you know.
I imagine it was incredibly challenging and exhausting to do all of those things at the same time.
Yes, it was. That's why I'm not in it too. In the past, I started as an actor. I play Nathan in season 3 of Out with Dad. So acting is not something that's strange to me. But when in Your Ex-Lover is Dead, I played a role in that as well. And it was one too many hats to try to be on both sides of the camera at the same time. I don't know how, like, some of the greats that have done that, I don't know how they do it. It's impossible to have both jobs be done to their fullest when I'm doing it. So I chose not to wear that hat. But I think when you're wearing all the others, I mean, yes, it's a challenge and it's exhausting. The trick is just to know what you're doing at any given moment. When I'm directing, that's what I'm doing. I'm directing. The writer in me, I put that aside. And the producing, I mean, that's done beforehand. We're all good to go. It's about organization and it's about having a support team. I relied heavily on the cast to step up and do a little bit more than an actor would normally do on a show. And you saw Matthew Carvery, who was in season 1, became a producer on season 2. Jeff Sinizak became a producer on a couple of episodes of season 2, and that was all done because they just wouldn't get made without these people. Alexandra L., who plays Raven, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have had the location that became Marcel's house in season 2, which opened up a whole storyline that wouldn't have been possible to us. So I think you have to just depend on your support team.
Sure, absolutely. Um, this is sort of a minor detail, just a stylistic question I had.
Mm,
You dropped the next time on Clutch thing between season 1 and season 2.
we
Why
did.
did you do that?
Because we found out a lot of people were binge watching, and so it's no longer necessary when you're doing that. And
Right.
season 1 as well, our episode release schedule was really scattered. We tried to keep up to every 2 weeks, but that would last for about 4 episodes. Then there'd be a big gap, and so it really was necessary to show them that there's more coming. Whereas by the time we came to season 2, we had a really controlled release schedule. The first several episodes were released weekly, and then we did have a mid-season hiatus, and then released the second block weekly. So it wasn't as necessary to do that, and people knew more were coming. Um, so I think ultimately it was designed to be binge watched, so that you don't have to kind of see what's coming next, and then 10 minutes later be watching that same scene.
Right, that makes sense. So can we can expect more Clutch in the future, right? Or have you moved on to other things?
Yes and no. In a sense, we have moved on to other things because many of the team are working on a new show called Asset, which is an espionage-themed show, and we got some funding from the Independent Production Fund, which is a private funding body in Canada who invests in web series. They see the future potential of web series, and they believe in that, so they put their money where their mouth is. And we're going into production with that this fall. So we're actually in about half an hour we have another pre-production meeting. So we're heavily working on that. But at the same time, we're working on continuing Clutch as a feature film. So it will exist as not a replacement of the show or a retelling of the show, but a continuation of the show as Serenity was to Firefly. And it will also serve as a standalone film, so it's transmedia. It's an opportunity for new fans to discover the show through the film and then go back and watch season 1 and 2 of the web series as a lead up. And then our hope would be that the film would generate enough money and grow the fan base large enough that we could then pay for a season 4.
Wow. Oh, that's really interesting. That's a really cool way of doing that. Um,
Hope it works. It'll be so much fun. The film will be great. I won't give too much away from the show because we do it in our visual advertising, but I can tell you the film is called Hookers with a Vengeance.
Love it. That's great. That's wonderful. Great. Are there anything else you'd like to plug? Any other projects you want to talk about, or are those the main focus at the
Well,
moment?
I always plug Out with Dad. Even though it's the opposite of Clutch, we share so many of the same people. A lot of the cast. Caitlin Medrick, who plays Lex in Clutch, plays Claire in Out with Dad. And of course, I play Nathan in season 3 of Out with Dad. And that is currently uh, seeking funding for post-production of season 3. It's all filmed, but the post-production hasn't happened yet, and we need a little more money from that. So please check out outwithdad.com to find out how you can help. and discover an amazing, wonderful, heartwarming show.
Absolutely. Well, we'll link to that. We'll make sure we'll make sure that's included in the article as well.
Thank you
Um,
very much.
well, thank you so much for talking with us today. I've had a great time. Everyone at home, check out these shows. Look forward to the films. Trust me, it is well worth your time. Maybe not for your kids, but it's definitely worth your time. Check it out.
Definitely not for the kids.
Yep. Yep. Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you.